Uchiha Madara and Hashirama team up for ultimate battlefield domination. Episode 31. The column continued to give a thumbs up. The future of the Dragon Kingdom depends on you young people. Little girl, you have to cheer up. Bayuekue's face didn't know what kind of expression it was. Listening to this tone, should she show flattery in order to be worthy of the praise of her elders? I'll come on. And the door is also a light road. Very good, it seems that I will not have to worry about it in the future. The battle you just fought was very calm, and it is the performance of a qualified warrior. Bayuekue tilted his head slightly, and with a hint of expectation, looked at Suban, who had not yet spoken. Want to see what he wants to say? After all, with such an excellent record, who doesn't want others to boast about it? Unfortunately, Suban saw Bayuekue's gaze, but said unceremoniously, very well, at least not to be a woman who drags her feet. It shouldn't be a weak person, and it won't make me look down on you anymore, Bayuekue. Dragon Kingdom audience. Although the Shan Frost Python was killed by Bayuekue, everyone was in a good mood at this time, but it was also because of the words of Suban and others, and it was both angry and funny. Good fellow, Suban's face has never been better. It's even colder than Miss Bayuekue. Miss Bayuekue killed a sea-level fierce beast, and Suban said that she was not an ugly weak person and would not drag her legs. The more exaggerated this is, the more infuriating it is. I feel as if a general praises a soldier. Look at Bayuekue's expression, laughing at me to death. The little sister was very calm when she hit this Shan Frost Python before, but at this time her face immediately couldn't be stretched. It is clear that he is very unconvinced, but he has nothing to say. If it had been at the beginning, I might have thought that Suban and Zhu Jian and others were too pretentious, but now, I can barely accept it. Then again, I don't know the strength of Suban, Pillar, Gate and Bayuekue, who is strong and who is weak. Is Miss Bayuekue really worse than them? The little sister's record at this time is the first among the Dragon Country players, or even all the players, although at this time everyone wanted to complain desperately about Suban and others. But because of the previous performance of Suban and Zhu Jian, not many people questioned their qualifications. I know they're strong, I just don't know how strong they are. It's just more or less, it will still be a little unconvinced. Now, Suban, Pillar, Door and Bayuekue, 4 people, more or less have a shot performance. They have also gained the recognition of more and more fans. They have all formed their own fan groups. Some people think that Bayuekue slaughtered the sea-level fierce beast cleanly, and the strength is beyond doubt. Suban and others did not have the same record, so don't touch the porcelain Bayuekue. Some people think that the door is the strongest. He faced so many wind speed ice wolves at the same time, and the speed was even more incredible, and his strength was far from showing its full potential. What's more, in the action of killing the wind speed ice wolf, he gained the most, and obtained a large number of attribute point increases, which may be the strongest among the Dragon Kingdom players. And Suban has also been recognized by a large number of fans. He thought that he was the strongest in the trio of Suban, Pillar and Uzumaki, so he did not dare to fight with him. Talking and talking, people from different fan groups even quarreled. Of course, this is all a struggle within the Dragon Kingdom, and it does not affect everyone's unanimous external heart. At a time when the people of the Dragon Kingdom were rejoicing, the heart of the foreign devils who died in the Dragon Kingdom was still not dead. Even if they couldn't find the black spots of the Dragon Kingdom, they also searched their stomachs to find a lot of black spots. You Dragon Kingdom really don't have any masters, and you all have to rely on women to fight. Why don't the men shoot? Are they afraid? Huh. You foreign devils can't find the black spots, can they only blacken us like this? Suban, Pillar and Akima and others are clearly not worried about Bayuekue, so there is no need to shoot. Everyone in our Dragon Kingdom is like a dragon, passing on the torch and living forever. Both men and women can guard the gates of the country. We women are strong. Men are just as strong. You think we are you, and to fight a fierce beast requires the whole team, and it may not be able to win the fight. You must be jealous and hateful of us, right? Now. Can't see the Black Dragon country, the foreign devils do not hesitate to play lie down. This weak woman, Bayuekue, must have used that weapon, so she was able to achieve such an achievement. In a flash, I almost thought it was the lightsaber of our nation's Star Wars. This is cheating. It may be that the national transport embargoes compassion, seeing that your players are too weak, only to give you a little care. Of course, in the face of the wild entanglement of foreign devils, the mentality of the dragon people is very good. Anyway, these sunspots are just screaming. If you can't find a black spot, you have to be embarrassed to be black. There is no need to pay any attention to it. On the screen, Suban, Pillar, and Bayuekue were still counting their rewards. they opened their respective C-class chests. This is the reward given to them by the National Forbidden Land for the first killing of the sea-level fierce beast. Congratulations to Dragon Nation player by Uekue for gaining an 80 bonus on speed attribute points. At the same time, because the player by Uekue bound the Dragon Kingdom national fortune, the reward was increased by 8 points to the speed of the Dragon Country people. Only those who have the nationality of the Dragon Kingdom and recognize the Dragon Kingdom from the bottom of their hearts and love the Dragon Kingdom can they get the feedback of the national fortune, followed by Suban, Pillar, and Pillar also receive their own rewards. Congratulations to Dragon Kingdom player Suban, who has gained 80 pupil attribute points bonus. At the same time, because the contestant Suban bound the Dragon Kingdom national fortune, he gave back the reward of increasing the pupil power of the Dragon Kingdom by 8 points. Congratulations to the Dragon Kingdom player Akima, get the spirit attribute point bonus of 80 points. Reward for giving back to the spirit of the Dragon Nation by 8 points. Congratulations to the Dragon Kingdom players between the pillars, get 80 health attribute points bonus. Reward for giving back to the Dragon Kingdom to increase the vitality of the whole people of the Dragon Kingdom by 8 points. For a time, the strength of Suban, Pillar, Gate and by Uekue all improved by leaps and bounds. And the Dragon Nation people were overjoyed to receive their rewards. The feeling of refreshment quickly swept through their hearts. Their bodily functions have improved a lot. Coupled with the D-class treasure chests of Suban and the other 4 people before, they had already increased their body attributes by 2 waves at this time. Even people who were originally on the verge of death quickly became healthy people. As for the original healthy people, it is the icing on the cake, and it is estimated that they can become athlete-level physical fitness. So at this moment, the Dragon Nation people are in the limelight on major network platforms. Other people who could not see the good of the Dragon Kingdom could only curse silently in their hearts, and did not dare to take the initiative. And this is nothing more than the wrath of the incompetent. Some people have begun to think about how to immigrate to the Dragon Kingdom in order to enjoy the blessings of the Dragon Country's powerful national fortunes. Especially those patients who are plagued by diseases and have no cure, they are also eager to come to the Dragon Kingdom and change their bodies and destiny. The high-level officials of various countries look at it in their eyes and are anxious in their hearts. If the players of their own country do not stand up again, the cohesion and self-confidence of their own country will suffer a heavy blow. Otherwise, everyone will yearn for the Dragon Kingdom and abandon their own country. The anti-dragon alliance formed by various countries must speed up the pace of its establishment. And in the picture, in the face of the increase of dozens of points of body attributes, Suban and others were very satisfied. Hatsuma also mentioned their rewards for giving back to the Dragon Kingdom. It seems that this oasis should belong to us, and we can take a break here. And Dragon Kingdoms can also get 200 oases because of this. That's a good thing. Uekue also forgot the speechlessness just now, and immediately smiled like a flower, and his face, which had always been high and cold, seemed to melt the glacier and spring was full of spring. It seems that the water-scarce areas of our country can obtain important resources. Suban said calmly, very well, the children of the Dragon Kingdom have been saved. Coupled with the increase in those physical attributes, it should be able to greatly reduce the proportion of weak people in the Dragon Kingdom. For Suban's angry and lifeless tone of speech, Uekue had become accustomed to it and did not bother to complain. She did notice the corpse of the dead beast, which seemed a little strange. How did the giant teeth of this Xian frost python seem to have pierced several holes? Was it a companion shot? And seeing the product of the wooden escape technique summoned by Suban, Uekue was even more surprised. Just now, when Uekue was fighting, he also felt some strange energy fluctuations. Could it be that this plant that appeared out of thin air was also the shot of his own companions? Episode 32. Uekue temporarily ignored the hole in the tooth of the Xian frost python, thinking that it should be pierced by a dark weapon, which was not surprising. She pointed doubtfully to the branches of the vines that had just emerged and were covered by the corpse of the Xian frost python, and asked Suban, the pillar and the 3 people, this is? Between the columns is just a faint tunnel. Nothing, I wanted to help you, but I saw that you didn't need help, so I didn't continue. Uekue heard this and just nodded. Thank you. It seems that his companions are indeed people with miraculous powers. In that case, it would be a good thing. And at this time, the audience noticed this blind spot, and once again set off a storm like a storm, and they all spoke. What the hell? These tree-like things, what is it? I patronized and watched Miss Uekue fight the Xian frost python before, but I didn't notice these trees. I've seen it before, but I thought something new was coming. Is it really related to the interpillar? In this white ice field, how can these plants be conjured? Incredible, right? Is this a trick? At the same time, more and more sunspots burst out scolding, damn. I don't believe it. This must be the National Forbidden Land helping you Dragon Kingdom players. Either you Dragon Kingdom players are cheating. It's so unfair, why do you dragon people have magic? At a time when everyone was shocked and complained. Suban, Pillar, Gate and Bayuekue began to think about where to go next. Suban coldly looked at the door and asked, "Is this stinky snake the powerful breath you're looking for?" "It seems that this is no more than that, Bayuekue." He touched the ground with his hand and closed his eyes for a while before saying, "Nor is it. I felt that farther away there was a more powerful breath, and it was just a C-class beast that I encountered along the way," Suban said bluntly. "Good. So let's move on." Looking at the cold-faced Suban and the door, Bayuekue still interjected, "It's rare to encounter a place to rest, don't you take a break? This oasis is beautifully located and also has a hot spring." For Bayuekue, who had just fought, taking a comfortable hot spring bath was simply a beautiful thing. Suban glanced at Bayuekue and said expressionlessly, "Oh, yes, I almost forgot that there was such a person as you, so let's take a break, lest you lose your strength later." Bayuekue. Why do you feel like you've become a liability? Bayuekue, who felt looked down upon, was also a little unconvinced. "Rest assured, you don't need to think about my feelings, just go fast." Suban, oh? Are you sure? Between the columns, there is a round field. Spots. Let's not be in such a hurry, let's first look at the situation in this oasis. If you have food, you can eat some food first. Spot. You are always too anxious, in this case, you will inevitably do something wrong. And this scene in front of him also made the audience of the Dragon Kingdom happy. Ha ha ha, it seems that our little sister Bayuekue seems to have been rejected. Miss Bayuekue is so miserable, obviously a big beauty, but it seems that these men have directly ignored it. Between the three of them, Suban, Pillar and Door, Miss Bayuekue couldn't say a word, ha ha ha. On the screen, Hatsuma began to propose, "Let's roast this snake to eat, shall we? If you can't finish eating, just throw it here." It was said that Bayuekue was a little reluctant. This snake meat? After all, it is a fierce beast in the forbidden land of national transportation, and it always feels a little. Suban took out a bunch of black pills from his arms and handed them to Bayuekue. "This is a soldier's food pill, after eating it, you can quickly recover your strength." Bayuekue took Suban's soldier food pill in a daze, sniffed it close to his nose, and swallowed a mouthful of spit with difficulty. Forget it, such an important thing, or use it at a critical moment. If you can eat something fresh now, try to eat something fresh. Suban skimmed his lips and said, can't you stand even such a little thing? Then in this country's embargo, there are some unbearable things. Forget it, I've served you, so let's find some fresh food. Bayuekue heard the words, and he didn't know what expression he had on his face. Is he really a very picky person? I really can't look at this soldier food pill and stinky snake meat. Have a problem eating something fresh? Am I really wrong? Bayuekue's face was cloudy and sunny, so he had no choice but to go to the hot spring near the oasis to fish. As he walked, he muttered to himself, "Okay, then hurry up and finish, and go on the road after eating." She was already a little skeptical of life. Seeing Bayuekue's gloomy expression, the Dragon Kingdom audience all laughed. I don't know whether I should feel sorry for Bayuekue or complain about Suban's straight male thoughts. Miss Bayuekue seems to be very pitiful, haha. I just finished hunting the Xian frost python, but I got Suban's annoyed praise, and now I am wronged when I eat something, and I can't even look at it. In this dangerous national embargo, too lazy to have a chance to rest, I eat something delicious, is it wrong? Players from other countries, having the opportunity to rest, would like to stay in this resource for a few days, do not dare to continue to the dangerous place. Suban, the Pillar and the Door, 3 people do not want to stay for a moment. Miss Bayuekue probably feels like a burden. Many people were upset about Bayu. It is also inevitable to say a few extreme remarks. Although Suban may be quite strong, he must at least make some contribution. Don't always pretend to be cool there, but don't do anything. Bayuekue is currently the player with the highest level of killing fierce beasts in the Forbidden Land. Why does Suban dislike her? Suban is fierce all day long, and he still points fingers. Always urging others to go, saying that others are delaying time, and they have been fighting for so long at the beginning. Do you mean to say Miss Bayuekue? There was a storm in the comments section. Well, Miss Bayuekue didn't say anything more, so let's not affect the harmony. Now that Suban and the Pillars are no longer fighting, it is already great news for us in the Dragon Kingdom, so don't dwell on these details. Suban can be so crazy, he should have his own crazy ability, right? We Dragon Country players must be united, and the Dragon Country audience must also be united. Isn't it some foreign forces that are taking the rhythm? I see it. They definitely couldn't find the black spots of Suban and others, so they could only stir up dissension here. While everyone was arguing, Suban and Zhu Jian and others were also doing their thing. The pillars warmly beckoned Suban to come over. Spots. Let's wait and prepare the grill. I'm in charge of the tools, you're in charge of the grill. Suban still had an indifferent face. My good end of the fire, give you a barbecue tool? Is this decent? The pillars laughed. What's the matter? Isn't my wood also used in large materials? I'll ask my brother to put out the fire and help you clean up the dishes, right? Bayuekue, who had just returned from fishing, said with a puzzled face. Are you talking about making a fire? Do you have a lighter? Between the pillars urged Subandao. Hurry up, Spot. After eating early, we can also continue to set off early. Besides, if you make a fire, you may be able to let Madame Bai take it down, so as not to freeze this female doll, Suban said with a serious expression. Amount? No way? Such a temperature will not really be someone need fire, right? Bayuekue? Episode 33. Bayuekue's heart was very unhappy. Slow down. There's something to say. How can you still be yin and yang? Besides, making a fire is a very strange thing. Bayuekue felt that he was increasingly unable to keep up with the brain circuits of Suban and others. At this time, seeing the scenes between Suban, Bayuekue, and the pillars, the audience of the Dragon Kingdom was also confused. How do I feel that the conversation just now is very informative? Fire and wood are hiding something, as if they can't understand. Ah. Why does Suban talk so angry? Don't you just make a fire? Is this a shameful thing to say? Shivering cold. Girls who simply want to eat a barbecue and are afraid of the cold, when can they stand up? Haha. Women only affect my sword swing speed. In this national embargo, there is still a need for a straight man like Suban. On the screen, Pillar also began to help Bayuekue speak. Spots. Be a little humane, eat something delicious, and promote everyone's feelings, which is also good for our team. This is also for the Dragon Kingdom. After hearing the words between the pillars, Suban sighed and said, Alright, I've served you. I'll help you with the barbecue. The pillars grinned, as if they had succeeded in their grand schemes. Hey. You should know that you have a barbecue with Ban and eat together, but it is a very long-lost thing. Remembering the beautiful experiences of the past and the deep friendship with the Spot, the face between the pillars was full of joy. However, he seemed to have suddenly thought of something, and he also looked at Suban cautiously and explained, By the way, Bane, I'm not trying to take care of this White. Oh Lady White. I'm just thinking about our team. Suban snorted in disgust. Okay, what's the explanation? It's boring, Bayuekue? Bayuekue was once again full of question marks at this time. I am a light bulb between Suban and the column. Don't I just want to have a quiet meal? It feels like I'm not very welcome. So I go? Now. Bayuekue felt that his heart was getting more and more tired. For more free Falu novels, https://discord.gg/bpy8hmhp. Meantime, seeing the intimate interaction between Suban and the pillars, the audience of the Dragon Kingdom was also relished. Now after Suban and the pillar don't fight, they are more and more like a pair, haha. I look at the pillar as if she were the daughter-in-law of the family. Suban is like a strong husband, and the pillar is also obedient to Suban. Sleeper. Accepting this setting, I felt like I could no longer look directly at both of them. Haha, this CPI stumbled. Wouldn't you? No way? No one really thinks that Suban and Zhu Jian are enemies, right? Even in the beginning, they don't look like bitter enemies. It is clear that it is inseparable CP. For a time, the remarks about the CP of the bumpy pillar quickly occupied the mainstream of the barrage area. Other remarks that spit on Suban and others were completely obliterated by the comments of the CP. With that said, then the White Moon is the third party? Haha, Miss Bayuekue is so wronged. When is such a big beauty like me not a well-known existence? I didn't expect that now. Miss Bayuekue actually looked like a superfluous light bulb. For a while, after playing with the terrier, the tension about the national embargo has dissipated a lot at this time. First of all, Suban, Pillar, Gate and Bayuekue were all masters of good strength. Second, the relationship between them is still so complicated. You can't play with the terrier. While everyone was talking about it, the columns in the picture quickly performed wooden escapes to complete the production of barbecue grills, wooden chopsticks, and other tools. This made the audience dumbfounded again. Sleeper. What the heck? Where do these cutlery come from? Isn't this an extremely precious green plant in an ice sheet? How did it come out of thin air? Even if it's near Suban and the others, there are only a few patches of grassy vegetation, right? The branch next to the frost python that we saw before was really made between the pillars? The crowd hadn't seen the whole process of casting the wood between the pillars before, so the first time they saw the wood between the pillars at this time, it was an eye-opener. Followed by the scene that shocked the audience even more followed. Suban began to release fire. Yikes! Suban skillfully controlled the fire, allowing the flame to ignite the wood made between the pillars. It didn't take long for the aroma of grilled fish to sweep through. Although Bayuekue had always recognized the strength of Suban and others, he was still extremely surprised after seeing this magical skill. This Suban and Zhu Jian and other people are indeed not laymen. Not only is the conventional combat power so strong, but it also has a mysterious secret technique. I don't know how strong the lethality of Suban's fire escape can be. And in the barrage area of the Dragon Kingdom live broadcast room. Oh my god. This is not scientific. Suban really spewed fire from his mouth. Suban and the pillar are indeed able to play acrobatics, and they conjure up a big sword, and they conjure up trees and fire. Could it be that the cultivators produced by the revival of Reiki are immortals? It was amazing. Our show immortal family has been born. At the same time, foreigners are also extremely surprised. Will you Dragon Kingdom Kung Fu still do tricks, even fire breathing? Isn't that what's only in the movie? People in our country are having difficulty surviving, and you dragon people are here for a vacation? It's too much. You must be blatantly cheating. How can it be so unscientific? The national embargo must be eccentric, so it will give you such skills. In the audience was surprise, anger, joy, and various barrages. Suban, Pillar Ma, Akima, and Bayuekue were also chatting. The pillar looked at Suban with a smile on his aunt's face. Ban, we haven't eaten together like this for a long time, and I really miss it. Suban replied faintly, oh. The columns continued to praise Suban. Your fire is really strong, 1 point is scorched, and 1 point less is not cooked enough, it is really powerful. Suban still said lightly, oh. Perseverance between the pillars. Spot, it seems that our abilities complement each other. As long as we fight side by side, we can definitely sweep the battlefield and be invincible. I remember the last time you armored the fox, that Susanoo was really energetic. If only your Susanoo could be put on me. Hey. Suban was a little impatient between the pillars. Hey. There is no end to it, between the columns? The weak need to join forces with others, I don't need to at the moment, now. Seeing the interaction between Suban and the pillar, the crowd was amused again. Laugh at me, how is this pillar a bit like Suban's looking dog? Obviously, Suban was ignoring him, but Zhu Jian still refused to give up. They're a pair of CP, I can bump all year, haha. One is brainless, one is unhappy. A perfect match. When you look at the expression between the doors, it seems that you have long been accustomed to it, and you don't bother to look at your brother. On the screen. Accompanied by the chattering voices between the columns. Suban has finally finished grilling, and the fragrant grilled fish appears. And after finishing the roasting, Suban looked at his own Uchiha spot template and found the degree of their own playing, unconsciously, has risen from 30% to 35%. Under the introduction of the system, Suban also understood, because of the series of daily actions he just made, he played the role of Uchiha spot very well, and his words and deeds were very consistent with Uchiha spot. So you can quickly improve the level of play. Therefore, what Suban did was not a waste of time. Thinking of this, Suban's mood was still slightly better. So he eased up a lot, took care of Bayuekue first, and handed her a string of grilled fish. Eat. Bayuekue also shyly took a string of grilled fish, and Sakura's lips slightly opened and tasted it. She felt the aroma in her mouth, and the after-scent lingered. An unprecedented sense of happiness and satisfaction and a sense of ease instantly occupied Bayuekue's mind. Almost lose your reticence and swallow the whole fish in one bite. Rao was a well-informed Bayuekue, and at this time he couldn't help but exclaim, wow. It's delicious, I've never eaten such delicious grilled fish. However, in the face of Bayuekue's praise, Suban only said lightly, eat more when it's delicious, and take advantage of the opportunity now. Stop yelling in the future, Bayuekue, oh. She ate the grilled fish with a slight grudge, and at the same time complained to Suban several times in her heart. She felt like she was having a psychological shadow. Whether it is praised by Suban or praised by Suban, there are no good memories. As for the pillars, he watched the interaction between Suban and Bayuekue, and his face was slightly complicated. After seeing Bayuekue start eating fish, the pillars couldn't wait to snatch the next string of grilled fish. That's it. Spot. Next, it's my turn to eat. I haven't eaten anything you made in a long time, and it really makes me sigh. After saying that, the pillar took a big bite of Suban's grilled fish, and his eyes were full of joy and excitement. Sure enough. Spot. What you make is delicious. Alas, what a creation. Our two brothers, how long have we not eaten together like this? The pillars were really tearful at this time. Suban. Subsequently, there were the fragments of thoughts between the familiar pillars, accompanied by Suban and others eating. As for the micro-expressions between Suban, Bayuekue and the pillar, naturally they were not missed by the audience of good things. They continued to talk about it with relish. Haha. The more you look at it, the more enjoyable it is. This Suban and the pillar between the past, there is indeed a story. I seem to see the jealous eyes of Bayuekue and Suban between the pillars. Suban and Bayuekue are so sweet just now. It seems to be a domineering president and a shy strong woman. Spotted white, spotted column CP open. I stand spotted CP, the white spotted party will never be defeated. I am a straight man, and I am invincible in the world of brotherhood. For a time, during the calm eating process of Suban and others, the audience was extremely lively and immersed in the joy of bumping CP. Soon after, while Suban and the others were eating, a voice suddenly sounded. Broadcast of the National Transport Embargo. Kangaroo Nation player Brig was killed by a Class A beast, a tailed crane. Kangaroo Nation player Brig was killed by a Class A beast, a tailed crane. Kangaroo Nation player Brig was killed by a Class A beast, a tailed crane. The global audience and players were all shocked. Appeared. Class of fierce beasts have appeared. Called Ichigo Morizuru? Then this kangaroo country player, indeed, will undoubtedly die. Episode 34. Countless people ran to the kangaroo country's live broadcast room to watch this scene. I saw it on a snowy plain. A huge, even hard-to-reach monster stands on the ice field. 3 kangaroo players fled. While running, he tried to suppress the fear in his heart and did not dare to speak out loud. It wasn't until they had run a long distance and looked back and found that the monster was still standing, that they muttered to themselves in shock and fear, "Oh my god, it's so terrible." It turns out that this monster is actually a class of fierce beast. Fortunately, it is still sleeping, otherwise no matter how many of us, we would not be able to escape. It turned out that the people of Kangaroo Country just now happened to pass by a huge ice sculpture. Later, it was suddenly discovered that this ice sculpture was actually a living creature. It's a sleeping Morizuru. A terrible big tanuki cat with a spell print all over its body. And this tanuki cat may have been noisy, and subconsciously slapped the ground with his hand in his sleep, and slapped a person alive. So after that, the people of the Kangaroo Country fled in a hurry. In the face of such a terrible beast, they didn't even have the idea of resisting. For this, the Kangaroo State has also paid a very heavy punishment. Kangaroo Country reduces mineral resources, freshwater resources, forest resources, and arable land resources by 10%. For a time, all the people of their country fell into panic and fear. Even if it is only 10% of the loss of resources, it is not affordable for any country. And at this time in the national embargo. When Suban heard this, his heart moved. Oh, it's a tailed crane? It wouldn't be. The pillar immediately echoed the word. It should be the tailed beast that I caught, but I didn't expect that there was such an existence in the national transport embargo. He nodded. Very good, then catch it again. Bayuekue, ? What are you talking about? Meanwhile, the words of Suban and others startled 1,000 waves in the hearts of the Dragon Kingdom audience. What are they talking about? A tailed beast that has been caught between the pillars? What is this story? Could it be that they once dealt with these class of fierce beasts between the pillars? It seems that this is indeed the case. Suban, Pillar, and Door 3 people are not simple. Maybe they have come to the national transport embargo place? Haha. That is indeed the great fortune of the Dragon Kingdom. They may be powerful warriors who have participated in the national embargo. That's why we have such a powerful fighting force. Of course, countless foreign devils still can't believe their words. Don't blow it. Do you mean to say that you can beat a class of fierce beast? This is already a life beyond the scope of our civilization. Even if it is a human thermal weapon, it must be a large missile to have a chance to kill. Such a huge tanuki cat, even if you stand and let you fight, you can't hurt him. Suddenly, there was another war in the barrage area. Furthermore, the other side. After learning about the tragic situation of the Kangaroo Nation players and this terrible A-class beast, the 3 players of the Lighthouse Nation murmured, I don't know if the anti-tank guns in our hands can cause harm to such a fierce beast. If you want to know an ordinary grenade, it is already difficult to injure a sea-level beast, let alone an A-level beast. So for the sake of safety, let's stay as far away from such terrible monsters as possible. Not long ago, the people of the Lighthouse Nation also found a treasure chest after obtaining the resource land of the national embargo and obtained a very powerful anti-tank gun. They were also complacent, believing that they possessed the most powerful weapon in the embargo. If you can meet the Dragon Kingdom players, you only need one missile from a long distance to blow them to pieces. But at this time, in their hearts, they would at most dare to deal with the Dragon Kingdom players. If you really encounter a class of fierce beast, you must run how far you must go. When players and spectators from all over the world are worried about the appearance of A-class beasts. An even more frightening tone appeared: national embargo tips. The protection period for novices from all countries is over. Beasts of level A or above will begin to enter the active state. The tailed beasts closest to the departure points of the players from various countries will also wake up. As soon as this remark came out, the players and spectators from all over the world were fried. Huh? It turns out that we still have a newbie protection period before? It's really heart-wrenching. Even during the protection period for novices, we have encountered countless disasters that have almost been destroyed. That's it. Now even the A-level fierce beasts are starting to come alive. Then our national embargo competition is not an exploration mode, but a survival mode. If you want to find resources, maybe you will directly find the nest of the A-level fierce beast. I don't know what kind of existence this tailed beast refers to. How terrible would it be? Just now the kangaroo country encountered a tail, and I don't know if the number of tails is related to the combat effectiveness. At this time, countless people are not very hopeful about the next battle. Even players with national embargo rewards do not dare to contact C-level fierce beasts, let alone B-level or even A-level fierce beasts. While countless people were worried, Su Ban, Zhu Jian and the three people had completely different attitudes. Between the pillars where he was eating grilled fish, he got up excitedly. Sure enough, these little guys are all in the national embargo, and it seems that our next battle will be interesting. I haven't dealt with them for a long time and I really miss it. The door room is also silent and authentic. It's still a bit reluctant to let players from other countries deal with them. Su Ban put down the grilled fish in his hand, wrapped his hands around his chest, and looked into the distance. I don't know if these little guys of the 9 tails will be weakened by this national embargo. If this is all weakened, it is really boring. I hope that the S-level or SS-level fierce beasts in the national transport embargo can be a little stronger than these tailed beasts. Thinking of this, his kaleidoscopic riding wheel eyes also burst out a scarlet glow. By Yuekue. She wanted to weakly ask, what are these tailed beasts? However, seeing that the three people of Su Ban, Pillar and Gate did not take them seriously, they did not bother to ask. Having been working with the three of them for so long, Bai Yuekue was also familiar with their temperament. There's no need to ask anything more, it's done. Since they are not very afraid, then maybe they don't have to worry too much, right? Episode 35. And at this time, the seemingly ordinary words of Su Ban and others have set off endless waves in the hearts of the audience. What the hell? Could it be that Su Ban's people had really dealt with these fierce beasts, and could even not take them seriously? What to do? I seem to believe Su Ban's words a little, and came to wake me up. Su Ban looks very domineering and powerful, and what he says doesn't look like it's fake. Does Su Ban's domineering spirit come from the strength of his strength? Meantime, the other side. The high-ranking people of the Dragon Kingdom were all analyzing Su Ban and others with great seriousness at this time. Carefully analyze every word and sentence of what they say. We can't find out the origin of this Su Ban. Is it really because he is a member of the mysterious Cultivation Immortal family? Have you even come to this land of national fortunes in advance? Maybe it's really so. Although this Su Ban is not clear whether he used any tricks, this fire-breathing ability is indeed incredible. He can even flexibly adjust the size of the flame to make the perfect grilled fish. This is definitely not a magic trick. Especially between this pillar, he conjured up some trees out of thin air, which is even more beyond the magic to explain. Although the lethality of these trees is not yet visible, this is definitely a supernatural force. At this time, the top level of the Dragon Kingdom all reached a unanimous consensus. They could only pin their hopes on the strength of Su Ban and others. Expect them to achieve even greater results. On the screen, Su Ban and the others continued to chat. Su Ban asked Akira, "Akira, will the powerful breath you felt before be this tail?" He shook his head and said, "It's hard to say, maybe more powerful than that." Su Ban hung his head and made a thought. If it's a 9-tailed or more powerful tailed beast, that's not bad. Between the pillars, his eyes lit up, and he said excitedly, "Ha ha ha, Spot. This reminds me of the great battle I had with you, even if you called the Nine Tails. Nor is it necessarily my opponent. Suban glanced at the pillar and said coldly and seriously, between the pillars, are your skin itchy again? All I know is that you are much weaker than I am now and need to obey my orders. Besides, in that battle, who was the real victor, it's really hard to say. Hearing the words between the pillars, it was also a mixture of feelings, and he nodded involuntarily. There is no mistake in what I said. I originally thought I had defeated you, but I didn't expect to be wrong, and I don't know what means you used. Why is it here again now? Suban, who knows the truth, naturally does not answer the questions between the columns. He coughed and said, cough cough. Well, don't talk about these old days, or continue to explore our national embargo. If the tailed beasts were snatched away by someone else, it would be boring. After saying that, Suban, Pillar, Gate and Bayuekue packed up their things and began to set off to the place where the powerful aura was located. The other side. The people of the Lighthouse Nation also began their exploration. After learning that the protection period for newbies was over, they gritted their teeth and decided to take the plunge and began to speed up the pace of their search. After some cautious exploration, they came to a spooky cave. With the idea of not going into the tiger's den to get the tiger, they all carried RPG bazookas and carefully explored the place. But to their surprise, there didn't seem to be any terrible beasts in this place. Deep in the cave, they were pleasantly surprised to find a treasure chest full of mysterious runes, extremely large as a house. After seeing this incomparably exquisite treasure chest, the Lighthouse Nation players were extremely excited. Fantastic, it's certainly a very powerful reward. At least it's B or A. As long as we have this reward, we can definitely defeat the Dragon Kingdom people with ease. The audience of the Lighthouse Nation was also excited, looking forward to the next scene of punching to face Dragon Country. Don't you Dragon Kingdom people love cheating? We Lighthouse players will get this reward next, and it will be useless for you to cheat anymore. With great excitement, they couldn't wait to open the treasure chest. But just after opening this treasure chest, the expressions on the faces of the Lighthouse Nation players suddenly froze. They felt an extremely ferocious breath sweep through their hearts. No, this is definitely not a bonus. Could it be a mysterious threat in the embargo? They immediately want to escape. But at this moment, they didn't even have the courage to run. Their steps became so heavy that they couldn't even take a step. In the terrified eyes of the Lighthouse Nation players and spectators, an orange-red shadow appeared in front of everyone. Giant fox with a fiery red body. It's like burning the fire of hell, and it can burn everything around you. 9 unbridled tails, dazzling and frightening. After coming out of the treasure chest, the 9-tailed demon fox looked around, and the fierce light in its eyes was radiant. In the field, a terrifying roar suddenly sounded. Oh, thank you so much, I can finally come out of this seal. But after pausing for a few seconds, the 9-tailed demon fox's voice was much lowered, and he said sadly, but right now, I can't move in full form. Then use you as my vessel. The next moment, this orange-red shadow burst out and suddenly burrowed into the body of a Lighthouse countryman. Kevin Harrison only felt a sharp pain all over his body. The ultimate hatred seems to turn into substance. From body to soul, destroy Kevin completely. Then Kevin immediately lost his voice and screamed, ah. It hurts. Don't. Help, who's going to save me? I don't want to die. Woohoo. He had lost his mind at this point and just wanted someone to help him quickly. However, the other 2 Lighthouse Nation teammates, who did not even care about their own companions, immediately began to escape. Even if their legs and feet are sore and they have fallen countless times on the ground, they will ignore it. They don't even care about their own image, so how can they care about their teammates? But at this time, the Lighthouse countryman who had been penetrated into the body by the shadow of the 9-tailed demon fox began to speak. Don't go. Otherwise, you'll die faster. The 9-tailed demon fox roared with unspeakable terrible magic. The incessant sound of air explosions exploded in the ears of these people. Like the sound of death. Episode 36. After hearing the words of the 9-tailed demon fox, the 2 teammates could only turn their heads helplessly, swallow a mouthful of spit with difficulty, and ask in a trembling voice, please. This grown-up. What can we do for you? Whatever it is, we are willing to do it for you, please don't kill us. George Smith and Bryce Armstrong, the 2 men, have forgotten their pride as Lighthouse countrymen and are extremely afraid of this 9-tailed demon fox. Now, this possessed Kevin, whose face was getting closer and closer to the fox, had a vicious expression and said viciously, you continue to follow me, to give me some important information, and to help fight when necessary. Both George and Bryce understand that their teammates, now no longer the Kevin of the past, have been encroached upon by this monster. So they could only promise and nod desperately at Kevin. At the end, the nine-tailed demon fox added, "Of course. You don't want to think about any ghost ideas. Otherwise, that's where you end up," boom, only to see this Kevin suddenly stretch out an orange-red energy hand and smash it hard. This large hand was like the hand of a giant beast, comparable to the size of a towering giant tree, and contained extremely terrifying energy fluctuations. George and Bryce gasped for breath, as if they had been struck in the chest by a heavy hammer. Imposing. Ferocious. The next moment, dense cobweb-like cracks swept in and covered the entire cave, causing George and Bryce to kneel. Seeing such a powerful nine-tailed demon fox, where would they dare to have the idea of resisting? He could only bow his knees and humbly cater to the nine-tailed demon fox Tao. "Rest assured, we will work hard to complete the task you have assigned. By the way, if you can help us, it's better against players from other countries. In that case, we have a common enemy." Of course, the nine-tailed demon fox snorted coldly, "Oh, don't think about using me to satisfy your personal desires, but if I just have anything to do, it doesn't hurt to do it along the way." The words of this nine-tailed demon fox are deafening. Majestic. Both George and Bryce trembled. "Got it. Thank you, we will definitely do it for you, we will do what you say." At this time, the two lighthouse players were extremely panicked in their hearts. But after seeing that his life was not in danger, he was also a little happy in his heart. If you can use this nine-tailed demon fox to search for resources and get rewards or something, it may be a good thing. The lighthouse country will inevitably have great luck. You Dragon Kingdom, just wait, I don't believe that with your cheating methods, you can still cope with such a powerful us. This is definitely a force that can destroy you. No matter how strong your Dragon Kingdom Kung Fu is, you will certainly not be able to resist this desolate beast. Meantime, after seeing these scenes, the audience of the whole world completely exploded. The lighthouse players unfolded this god, and it really made them drop their jaws. Sleeper. Are we lighthouse people controlled by a fierce beast? A demon fox with 9 tails. I don't know if this is the so-called tailed beast in the national transport embargo. Although Kevin seems to have become a living dead, he should not be dead yet, at least not for us to get punished. Although Kevin at this time is no longer the Kevin of the past, he can at least help our lighthouse country. He can also win more resources for our lighthouse country, ha ha ha. I see how you Dragon Nation people are still fighting with us at this time. You Dragon Kingdom players don't take the sea-level fierce beasts in their eyes. But look at this A-level beast, or even a more advanced S-level beast, how do you deal with it? This is definitely much more powerful than our rocket launchers, and this is definitely not a force that humans can fight. And after seeing this scene, the audience of Dragon Country was extremely pessimistic and surprised. Oh my god, this lighthouse countryman is also too much, this is even more powerful than our Dragon Country people. Although I don't know the detailed level of this fierce beast, at least it is the beginning of the A level, and it is not surprising to say that the S level is not at all. Being able to be sealed by the national transport embargo is definitely a very powerful existence. Definitely a big boss. Looking at his appearance, he can also directly control people's minds. Before, when the people of the lighthouse country saw this 9-tailed demon fox, they were so frightened that they didn't even dare to run. This is already an existence beyond our imagination. Maybe it's even more terrifying than the one that appeared before. You lighthouse people still mean to say that we cheat, and this is the most cheating method for you. Oh, don't be complacent, the lighthouse country is playing with fire and self-immolation. Of course, at this time, the double-standard lighthouse people mean that this is the power that their lighthouse people should have. The people of the lighthouse nation were originally children of destiny and deserved the favor of the forbidden land of the national transport. The lighthouse people who had suffered countless losses before were arrogant and extremely rampant at this time. As for people in other countries, they are also extremely excited to talk about it. High-level people from all over the world have sent bullet screens to their own players, telling them that at this time, the talents of the lighthouse nation are the most powerful. Allying with the lighthouse nation is absolutely the most correct thing to do. The Dragon Kingdom people are not worth mentioning at all, there is no need to be afraid of the Dragon Kingdom's players. As long as you meet the lighthouse players quickly, you will be able to drink soup and eat meat with the lighthouse players. There are even high-level orders to the contestants to open the mysterious treasure chest like the lighthouse nation, and maybe they can also gain the power of the mysterious beast. The Dragon Country players' weekly barrage has been used up, so it is impossible to inform Suban and others of this bad news. The Dragon Country audience was very distressed. I hope Suban, Pillar, Gate and Bayuekue are all right. I hope they can be murdered again, alas. No matter how strong Suban and the others are, there is certainly no way to defeat such a terrible lighthouse player. So let's pray they don't meet the Lighthouse Nation players. Unless you kill a little more B-level beasts, or get a little B-level chest, strengthen them as soon as possible. Otherwise, there would be no way to fight against the Lighthouse Nation players. Now, the people of the Dragon Kingdom were worried about Suban and the others. Episode 37, Now. After the end of the so-called novice protection period in the national embargo, the competition among countries has further escalated. Many countries have taken risks and are constantly desperately looking for more resources. Get more chests to strengthen yourself. For example, the 3-year-olds of the White Elephant Kingdom picked up the luck, and after some arduous searching, they came to a resource land that was not guarded by fierce beasts. After opening a treasure chest, they were immediately pleasantly surprised. Because this reward has never been stronger. Congratulations to the White Elephant Nation player Akim for obtaining the psychic spell of the B-class Fierce Beast Dream Eater Dream Taper. As long as you sign a psychic agreement with the Dream Taper, you can channel it out. Hint, the strength of the psychic beast needs to be linked to the strength of the contractor. When the contractor is too weak, he cannot get the approval of the psychic beast and cannot exert his full strength. Sacrifice the national fortune of the country, let the national mineral resources, population resources, national life expectancy, etc. be sacrificed, will be able to obtain the energy blessing of the Forbidden Land, improve the combat effectiveness of the psychic beast. As soon as they heard this information, the audience in the White Elephant Kingdom was all talking about it. Wow. It was too powerful to be able to channel a B-level fierce beast. Ha ha ha, let's see how other countries compare to us. However, it is really not easy to exert the full strength of this B-level fierce beast, and we may also need to sacrifice the national fortune to exert its full strength. Then our country, don't we have to have a lot of resources, and even people are directly sacrificed? It's alright. Even if it costs our national fortunes, it is worth it. After all, it is for long-term victory. Ha ha ha, the B-level ferocious beast psychic I have now is definitely the strongest team in this national Forbidden Land. It's hard to say, the mysterious nine-tailed demon fox they have in the Lighthouse Nation may be stronger than us. But at least to defeat the Dragon Kingdom, it should still be handy. Before the Dragon Kingdom players fought the sea-level fierce beast, they must have been fighting for their lives, and this B-level fierce beast was definitely not something they could deal with. On the screen. After receiving the reward of this B-level psychic beast, the White Elephant Kingdom players were surprised and happy, and soon began to continue on the road. They can't wait to continue looking for more resources and killing more beasts. At the national embargo, more and more countries began to encounter high-level beasts after the end of the protection period for novices. Conflicts in the embargo are becoming increasingly intense. Under the oppression of these powerful beasts, all countries are very eager to join together. Or look for the blessings of powerful nations. After meeting, players from many countries have confirmed that they can form an alliance with each other, so they act together to explore the national embargo. For example, many countries of the Anti-Dragon Alliance have united for this purpose. At this time, the national transport embargo can be said to be a mountain rain that is about to come and the wind is full of buildings. Not after that. In the team of White Elephant players. They were walking, and suddenly one of the contestants started to say, "Slowly, don't go, I seem to have found something." The White Elephant, who had been holding a telescope, began to carefully observe the distance. This telescope was one of the rewards he received, and it was still very useful for detecting enemies. After careful observation, he immediately shouted excitedly, "I seem to see the Dragon Country players. Look at their faces, as well as the bullet screen information transmitted by the national high level before. The appearance is blue and white and red, it should be a Dragon Country player." Hearing this, the other White Elephant players also cheered. "Haha, they certainly don't know, we found them, let's hurry up and ambush. When the time comes, I will definitely be able to catch them off guard." The surprise attack of the B-class fierce beast is definitely not a force they can handle. Although I don't know what rewards will be given to players from other countries, I may be able to give us all the points and rewards obtained by the Dragon Nation. Now. Learned of the treacherous schemes of the White Elephant players. The audience in the White Elephant Kingdom was also extremely excited. Ha ha ha, good job, we can definitely destroy the Dragon Kingdom next. Maybe it will become the first country in the entire national embargo. It is also a breeze. Even if you can't be the first, it's not bad to be the second team to the Lighthouse Countrymen. The national fortunes of our White Elephant country are finally about to be reversed. And this news naturally spread quickly to the ears of the Dragon Nation. The audience of the Dragon Kingdom, who had been anxious for the 9 tails of the Lighthouse Nation, was even more anxious at this time. After all, the one who attacked the Dragon Kingdom players this time was not an ordinary fierce beast, but a White Elephant Kingdom player plus a B-level psychic beast here. Moreover, it is calculated with a mind and without a heart. Can Suban and other Dragon Kingdom players deal with their attacks without any defense? Can Suban and others continue to kill G? Unfortunately, in addition to scolding the White Elephant Kingdom players for being sinister, they also had no way to help the Dragon Kingdom players do something. A big storm is coming. However, the White Elephant players did not know, their ideas may be falling short. A few kilometers away, the runners of the Dragon Kingdom had already felt some strange atmosphere. Suban suddenly stopped, looked at the door and asked, "Akira, can you feel something different?" He nodded. "I did feel it, but it wasn't strong at all, certainly not those tailed beasts. So we don't have to care at all." So, they continued to walk forward with a calm face. Some beam-jumping clowns simply don't deserve their attention. It was said that although Bayuekue was a bit surprised, he didn't have to worry about it when he heard them say that he didn't have to be nervous. At best, just a little wary. But these understated dialogues of theirs shocked the audience of the Dragon Kingdom. Another storm broke out in the barrage area. Really fake? Does Akima refer to the players of the White Elephant Kingdom? Or is it the smell coming from elsewhere? Did they just happen to collide, or could they really feel it? That's an exaggeration, it's so far away. Even a dog's nose doesn't work. I hope they don't get attacked by the White Elephant players. Of course, the Dragon Kingdom Kurokos had no belief in the strength of the Dragon Kingdom players. Still trying to pour cold water on the Dragon Kingdom. Ha ha ha, I see that they are just nonsense. I don't believe that you Dragon Kingdom players can escape the ambush of our White Elephant Country players. I think you're just pretending. I've seen the psychic beasts of our White Elephant Kingdom players. This is a monster that can burst out with powerful cutting power. Even if you Dragon Nation people have a little bit of cold weapon kung fu, but before they come to us, they will definitely be defeated by him. For a while, the White Elephant Kingdom and the Dragon Kingdom players had not yet begun to fight, and the people of the two countries had already begun to engage in a scolding war. Episode 38. At a time when the audiences of the two countries are constantly arguing, the Dragon Country players have become closer and closer to the White Elephant Country players. From the perspective of the White Elephant Kingdom live broadcast room, it was already possible to see the people of the Dragon Kingdom. At this time, the audience of the Dragon Kingdom was desperately praying, hoping that the Dragon Kingdom people could defeat these olding forces. Although he said that he would definitely be able to defeat the White Elephant players, he was still very worried in his heart. After all, this is the power of a B-level beast. This fierce beast is a reward for the National Transport Embargo, and it is a mysterious power from the National Transport Embargo. Can the four people of Suban, Pillar, Gate and Bayuekue really create miracles again? The Dragon Kingdom audience was bottomless and uneasy at this time. On the screen. After the White Elephant Kingdom players had been ambushed for a long time, they finally saw the approaching Dragon Kingdom players. After glancing at each other, they began to use their psychic skills with great joy. Singer, who signed a contract with the Dream Taper, began to perform the spell with a mischievous smile. Psychic. Bang. Under the operation of the White Elephant players, a four-unlike fierce beast with almost all red bodies, tiger legs, pig bodies, cat ears, elephant trunks, and other features suddenly appeared. Class B Psychic Beast Dream Taper. Hiss. The long nose of the Dream Taper spits out towering steam. Suban, Pillar, Gate, and Bayuekue all stopped and began to look at this suddenly appearing fierce beast. Followed by. Under the order of the White Elephant Kingdom players, its mouth was lucky, and it suddenly blew out an extremely strong hurricane. Phew. The hurricane was mixed with snowflakes and hit Suban and others like sharp arrows. The raid begins. Seeing such a terrifying offensive, the audiences from all over the world were secretly surprised. Oh my god. This attack is also terrible. Directly create a super snowstorm. In other words, ordinary people, in such an environment, will definitely be blown away directly. This must be at least a typhoon of level 13 or above, and it can even be said to be a super typhoon. Haha. You Dragon Kingdom runners will inevitably be directly scraped away, or even killed on the spot. Many analysts were studying the attack strength of this Dream Taper. These winds don't seem to be ordinary winds, and we all seem to be able to faintly see the energy fluctuations on them, as if they still have a very strong cutting force. It's similar to the wind blade in the Magic movie. Yeah, it's like countless knives shooting straight out. It can leave traces on the rocks. It's terrible. Now. Countless spectators watched this battle intently. Eyes blazing. I was so excited. Especially in the countries that can't see the good of the Dragon Country, they all hope to see the tragic situation of the Dragon Country people. When the time comes, it will definitely be a time for them to celebrate together. The audience of the Dragon Kingdom also pinched a handful of sweat for Suban and others, and groaned in cold sweat behind their backs. Can the 4 people of Suban, Pillar, Gate and Bayuekue deal with such a terrible attack? If they were all defeated, then the great achievements created by the Dragon Kingdom before would be wiped out. At this moment, the audience of the Dragon Kingdom were all invariably cheering for Suban and others. Now, seeing the attack of the Dream Taper, Suban, Pillar, and Bayuekue all reacted differently. Both Uzumaki and Bayuekue drew their swords out of their sheaths, and then inserted themselves into the perennial cold ice underground to stabilize their bodies. Sonorous. The solid ice that seemed to have been frozen for 10,000 years was easily inserted into the blade by Uzumaki and Bayuekue. As for Suban, he quietly took a few steps forward, holding the flame cluster fan of the Uchiha family, and used his body to block most of the storm's attacks. Cracking sound. The hurricane attack of the Dream Taper even made a sound like a bullet. Seeing that Suban was alone to withstand most of the attacks, Bayuekue's look changed and his heart was extremely moved. After a few seconds, Bayuekue felt that he had adapted to the intensity of this storm and said directly, "I'll go and cut off its nose and mouth." She didn't want to be treated as a burden all the time, and she had to prove her strength to Suban and others. Bayuekue, whose physical fitness has long exceeded the limits of ordinary people, is still capable of moving freely through the storm. But he stopped Bayuekue and shook his head at her. In the face of a strange psychic beast, we must first observe its intelligence. After all, it is a B-class fierce beast, which will be a little unique. In the face of fierce beasts of unknown strength, the practice of the door has always been the most stable. Although he attacked fiercely, after all, as a human being, his body was still very fragile, and he could not rush forward. Similar to the laws of the assassin. Either don't shoot. Once you shoot, you must defeat the enemy with one blow. And at this time, seeing the calm expressions of Suban and Zhu Jian and others, the Dragon Kingdom audience was invigorated. Huh? The situation seems to be much better than we thought. Although I don't know how strong the upper limit of Suban and others' strength is, as long as they can maintain their composure now, that means that the problem is not big, right? Haha. It seems that Suban and others are still strong. Where do they feel like they're going to be blown away? It seems that you White Elephant players are about to be punched in the face. At this time, the spectators of the White Elephant Kingdom stared at the Dragon Kingdom players in the picture. Damn. Why hasn't something happened to the Dragon Kingdom players? How could this be? The White Elephant people gritted their teeth and said, "I don't believe you Dragon Nation people can block our attack. Our B-level psychic beasts haven't reached their full strength yet. In a little while, you Dragon Kingdom players will definitely die. At least you can't move anymore, you can only obediently be beaten. Hurry up, we White Elephant Country players. In addition to psychic beasts, how many guns do you have? Now is the best time to kill the Dragon Kingdom players." It's in the picture. Seeing the Dragon Kingdom players who were still standing still, the White Elephant Kingdom players were all frowning and locking. Wouldn't you? We all sent out B-class fierce beasts, can they still be so calm? Such a terrible storm, we all feel extremely terrible in the back, they resist these storms head-on, and they can still stay still? Unscientific. Are the Dragon Kingdom people cheating again? Wouldn't it be a prop that won the national transport embargo? It looks like we have to strengthen the wind. Dream Taper. Hurry up and strengthen the attack. However, at this time, the Dream Taper let out a low roar of dissatisfaction. Singer, the White Elephant Kingdom player who signed the Psychic Beast contract with him, quickly understood what it meant. This is already the full strength of the Dream Taper. Unless the White Elephant Kingdom players can use their national fortune power to give the Dream Taper a blessing. Episode 39. After seeing the defeat of the Dream Taper at this time, the White Elephant players began to seriously discuss, "Oh, abominable Dragon Nation. Should we sacrifice the fortunes of the nation? Sounds a little scary, so don't we White Elephants have to pay a heavy price? Alas, shouldn't the people of the White Elephant Kingdom blame us? It's alright, anyway, the people of our White Elephant Kingdom will understand. Yes. We're doing it for their good, as long as you beat these Dragon Kingdom players. Then our White Elephant country will surely reap the full harvest and pay a little cost, which is nothing at all." As a result, their faces flashed with fanaticism, and they looked at Suban, Pillar Jian, Wu Jian, and Bayuekue fiercely. You hateful Dragon Kingdom players. He even forced us to sacrifice the fortunes of the country. Wait. We'll get you back later. The White Elephant country players immediately began to follow the ceremony of the national transport embargo, and the words in their mouths were said, "Dear National Embargo. We White Elephant national players are willing to sacrifice 1% of the national fortune, so that the attack power of the Dream Taper becomes more powerful." As soon as the words fell, a mysterious force descended from the sky. One by one, the golden yellow light clusters painted with mysterious spells directly merged into the body of the Dream Taper. Dream Taper felt the chakra energy in his body soar again, and began to erupt with a stronger wind power. Phew! The energy in the air kept stirring. Almost all of the snow on the ground was blown away by the strong wind. The hard ground is even slightly broken and cracked. Such a terrifying snowstorm that even the audience in the live broadcast room could not see the scene clearly. Only the figures of the White Elephant State players and Suban can be faintly seen. From this, it can be seen how powerful the storm power of this Dream Taper is. After Suban noticed that the strength of the Dream Taper had suddenly soared, he was also secretly surprised. Oh! This guy has actually become a little stronger, and I feel that it has received a lot of chakra blessings, and I don't know what the principle is. Between the pillars, are you okay? After looking back at the pillar and seeing that Uzumaki and Bayuekue were still safe, they laughed. Rest assured, this guy is nothing at all, and no matter how much I am weakened, I will not be afraid. He said with a serious face. Ban, are you observing the intelligence of this fierce beast? You should also notice that it has the chakra energy that we are familiar with, right? Suban nodded slightly. Yes, the previous fierce beasts did not have this kind of energy fluctuation. It seems that this guy is a bit interesting. Maybe this is the really powerful fierce beast in the national transport embargo, right? If only there were more such beasts. After hearing these words, the Dragon Kingdom audience once again set off in uproar. Suban, what are they talking about? How come I can't understand it at all? What chakra energy? They seem to know a lot about the energy system of this country's embargo. They are certainly not ordinary people. This psychic beast should also be extremely familiar. It's only because I perceive the familiar energy fluctuations that I have to observe this Dream Taper well. I believe they will surely find the weakness of the Dream Taper soon. Look at how calm Suban is at this time. They will never be afraid of this B-class beast. Haha. I like Suban and others more and more. At this time, Suban is really too handsome, a person to block most of the storm. Such a tall and proud body is really my dream lover. This is the heroism that we men dream of. Alas, only people like Bayuekue and Zhu Jian can be worthy of Suban. Suban, come on. Hurry up and kill the White Elephant Nation players. After seeing this scene, the White Elephant players and the audience were naturally furious. How can it be? They had already sacrificed so much of the power of national fortune, could they still defeat Suban and others? This is a B-class fierce beast, plus the power of their White Elephant Kingdom's national fortune. Moreover, after that, countless negative remarks soon poured out of the barrage area of the White Elephant Kingdom. Ah. Saying they fought quite well, but we, the inhabitants of the White Elephant Kingdom, will have to pay a heavy price. My originally healthy body actually began to vomit blood. I was able to run a marathon, but I just climbed a staircase at this time, and I was out of breath. The plants in our house have begun to wither. Most of the iron ore in the mine I manage has disappeared. These indisputable White Elephant Kingdom players, even if they can't make the Dragon Kingdom players pay the price? We were so disappointed. For a time, countless unlucky people who had been robbed of the power of national fortune were full of complaints about the White Elephant players. The top brass of the White Elephant Kingdom can only do their best to appease the people, telling them that the White Elephant Kingdom players will definitely defeat the Dragon Kingdom players and reverse the national fortunes. Only to see in the national embargo. The White Elephant Kingdom players have begun to make desperate bets, and continue to order the Dream Taper to strengthen their attacks. Dear National Embargo. We White Elephants are willing to sacrifice 1%. No, 3% of the national fortune, so that the Dream Taper's attack power becomes more powerful, accompanied by the hysterical roar of White Elephant players such as Occam and Singer. More and more golden yellow light clusters descended from the sky and poured into the body of the Dream Taper. The attack of the Dream Taper has also begun to strengthen. Battle escalates further. Episode 40. In the face of an increasingly powerful storm, the Dragon Kingdom audience was worried about Suban and others. Pray that the Dragon Kingdom players must not be okay. Happily, the Dragon Country audience found, even the Dream Taper, which had been strengthened by the national fortune of the White Elephant Kingdom, still couldn't seem to cause much harm to Suban and others. In a growing hurricane of intensity, there was a calm face between the pillars. Suban was still expressionless. The door is talking to himself. The strength has increased by about 20%, and the power of the wind has reached the level of the shadow level. Do these people who attack us still have the secret art of strengthening chakra? And Bayuekue still didn't feel too much of a threat. But she could clearly feel that these storms were not natural phenomena caused by simple air currents, but also carried the mysterious chakra energy that Suban said, which was indeed very terrifying. Boom boom. It was even loud enough to produce a sonic boom, like countless bombs exploding one after another. If it weren't for Suban in front of him, blocking most of the power with his own fan, it is estimated that they would also be very embarrassed at this time. It seems that the pressure on Suban is definitely much greater than they imagined. Looking at the back of Zhuoli, who was standing still and straight at the waist, Bayuekue couldn't help but look into it. Now, seeing that the attack of the Dream Taper still could not work, the White Elephant Kingdom player was already crazy and continued to order fiercely, "Strengthen the attack. Keep stepping up your attack. At all costs, defeat these Dragon Kingdom players. 10%. 15%. 20% of the power of national fortune. How much can it be used? Dear National Embargo. We White Elephant Kingdom players are willing to sacrifice the national fortune as above, so that the attack power of the Dream Taper becomes more powerful. Please bless us for defeating the Dragon Kingdom players." And at this time, Singer, the White Elephant player who signed a contract with the Dream Taper, was already a bit unbearable. His nostrils were bleeding, his eyes were red, and he seemed to have consumed a great deal of vitality before he was able to order the National Transport Forbidden Land to transmit his power to the Dream Taper. Ah. My body hurts so much. If this continues, the Dragon Kingdom players have not yet died, and I guess they have already died first. After all, this is only a B-level fierce beast, and no matter how it is infused with the power of the national transport embargo, it must have a certain limit. It is impossible to let it break through the shackles and become a fierce beast with infinite power. Therefore, at this time, the Dream Taper and Singer really used all their strength and could not go any further. And at this time, in the real world, the people of the White Elephant Kingdom are also unable to bear it. They who have already sacrificed 20% of the national fortune can personally feel the great harm to them by the consumption of the national fortune. The quality of the White Elephant country's nationals has dropped by 20% or even more. They are all suffering for this. Medical pressure at White Elephant Hospital has increased significantly. Infrastructure is on the verge of collapse. And in the farmland, countless crops withered directly. Everywhere you look, it's all black. You can imagine what a terrible famine they will face next. At the same time, with the depletion of mineral resources, their industrial development will be stagnant. The soldiers of the White Elephant Kingdom, who were originally close to the border of the Dragon Kingdom, also had to leave. The depletion of mineral resources will also act accurately on the arsenal and equipment of the White Elephant Kingdom. Even let their weapons be scrapped straight away. Let alone invade neighboring countries, even if they are self-preservation, they may not have much power anymore. The White Elephant country, which was not strong in its national strength, suffered losses far more than the Lighthouse country. If this continues, even if the enemy of the national embargo does not need to intervene, their country is on the verge of collapse. And the people are also complaining about the White Elephant country players. They all loudly accused the players of being sinners in the White Elephant Kingdom and ordered them to stop moving. Obediently befriending a powerful country like the Dragon Kingdom is the best way to save their White Elephant Kingdom. Dragon country players are absolutely invincible and powerful beings. They should stop being delusional about dealing with Suban's people. It is no exaggeration to say that even if these players can return to the White Elephant country alive, they will definitely be overwhelmed by the spit of the White Elephant country. Personally aware of the loss of the power of these national fortunes, they even lost the courage to insult such a strong person as the Dragon Kingdom. Therefore, they can only insult the weak players in their own country. In various countries, the people who originally supported the White Elephant country also fell silent and did not dare to say anything more. Although at this time, facing the attack of the Dream Taper, the Dragon Kingdom people did not have the posture to attack, but they did not hold out much hope. After all, the Dragon Kingdom players did not look at any signs of rout at this time. Damn it! Where did the Dragon Kingdom players come from? Are they really that powerful? Are they really invincible? Does the Dragon Kingdom really want the country to prosper and become the world's #1 power? Now, only the fanatics of the Lighthouse Nation were still shouting arrogantly at this time. Okay. Since even your White Elephant Kingdom cannot defeat the Dragon Kingdom, the task of defeating their evil country is entrusted to us Lighthouse people. The 9 tails that our Lighthouse country possesses are definitely Class A beasts or even S-level beasts. So we absolutely have the ability to defeat the Dragon Nation. The Dragon Nation people are not worth mentioning at all in front of our Lighthouse people. They still don't want to admit that the Dragon Nation players can beat their Lighthouse Nation players. They are the Lighthouse players who have been taken care of by the national transport embargo. Even such a mysterious and terrifying beast as the nine-tailed demon fox had taken up the Lighthouse Nation players. How could the Dragon Kingdom players compare? And at this time in the national embargo, Suban's people felt that the wind power of this psychic beast Dream Taper had gradually weakened. Suban was still a little disappointed. It seems that this beast is just like this, since there are no new tricks, let's end it. Between the columns, between the doors, have you analyzed anything? The perceptual man said directly. I feel that these golden light clusters he has obtained should be the power of the rules of this national transport embargo, which contains the emotional energy of countless people, as if it is related to the power of their national fortune. Suban skimmed his lips, disapprovingly. It's fancy. Only the weak will need this kind of thing. The voice just dropped. Suban immediately burst out of his body, ready to attack the enemies such as the Dream Taper. After seeing Suban's move, the pillar also shouted excitedly. Haha. It's so interesting. Spot. I'm going to go along. Between Suban and the pillar, the two figures shot out one after the other. Their momentum soared. The body was faintly shining with Chakra's energy light. Now that you've had enough, end the battle once and for all.